Welcome back to the Sandbar Playbook, everyone. I got a special Halloween edition of my power rankings this week, going into week number 9. Let me know in the comments who you're betting for Halloween this year. But getting right into it, this week, I'm changing things up. There's going to be washed up teams from now on. Going into every week of the season, at least one team will become washed up. This week, 3 teams became washed up. It's the Jets, the Saints, and the Titans. They're washed up. Once you get washed up, you can't come back. So once again, every week of the season, at least one team will be washed up from here on out. But these 3 teams, they're washed up. There's no more point in me paying attention to them. All right, number 29, barely not washed up. Maybe it will be the next one washed up. Is the Dolphins. Let me read you a quote from Tua Tagovailoa. He said when he was talking about how Jalen Waddle wasn't getting enough targets, he said some of it has to do with being able to see guys. So he's saying, he's admitting it himself. He's too short to see the guy. I don't want to hear that from my quarterback. Of course, you have to know that sometimes, but I don't want to hear that from my quarterback. Dolphins at number 29, they're pretty close to being washed up. Number 28 is the Bengals. It's no surprise the Bengals have the most yards allowed this year, the per game. The Cowboys being number 2, and then you're gonna see it's a mystery right there, number 3. I'll reveal number 3 later for you. But the Bengals, they would have been washed up, I'll be honest, if Joe Burrow wasn't coming back this year. So Joe Burrow coming back is the only thing keeping this Bengals team alive and not washed up right now. All right. Number 27 is the Cardinals staying where they are. They're on the verge of being washed up as well. Number 26 is the Browns. It's time for Shedeur Sanders. I've seen enough of Dylan Gabriel. It's time. Bring Shedeur Sanders in. Every game that Joe Flacco plays well in Cincinnati, it makes the Browns and Stefanski look worse and worse. Now, the Browns have a terrible wide receiver core and could use some help on the offensive line, but the Bengals can definitely use help on the offensive line as well. And it's not looking good for Stefanski right now on the Browns. They need to put in Shedeur. They need to give this team some life because it doesn't seem like they're rallying around, Dylan Gabriel. And we saw what that change made for the Giants when they put in Jackson Dart and those players started to get more excited. They need that same excitement for the Browns. They should put in Shedeur Sanders. Number 25 is the Panthers. Hopefully Bryce Young will be back soon for them. And they have to start using Dowdle more. If they want to start winning, they need to start using Rico Dowdle more often. Number 24 is the Raiders, staying right where they are as well. They play the Jaguars next week. They need a competitive game to get back on track. Number 23 is the Vikings. Once again, staying right where they are. I don't care who it is at quarterback for this year for the Vikings. They're not a great team this year. They're going to be close to the bottom of the league. Number 22 is the Giants, moving down 6 spots. Unfortunately, Scottaboo is injured now, out for the season. Very sad. He was playing awesome this year. Neighbors out, Scottaboo out. It's going to be very tough for the Giants the rest of the season. Number 21 is the Steelers. Remember a couple weeks ago when everyone had the Steelers in their top 10, and I brought up that record to you, and I said, look who they've played so far. In the next 2 games after that, they've lost, and I told you they're not a top 10 team. Well, we saw that again this week. And earlier, when I was showing you the Bengals, how they had the most yards allowed per game, there was a mystery team at number 3. Well, let me put that graphic back up for you. That mystery third team is the Steelers at number 3, third most yards allowed per game this year. So the defense is not putting up their fair end of the share here. And the offense, I mean, it's obviously not one of the best offenses in the league, but playing better than I expected them to. And Aaron Rodgers is having a good year. They're definitely putting up points. So this defense is not doing great at all. They're one of the worst defenses in the league right now. And they cannot rely on this offense to win them games throughout the season. Steelers at number 21. And by the way, there was a what was it? There was a PI given to the Steelers before half that let them take the lead there on the Packers player. The Steelers player ran back into the Packers player and they called a PI on it. And then you did have the Steelers making some mistakes though, which is why it wasn't a close game. You had the DKI poke. But the Steelers, this is where they are, number 21. And a couple weeks ago, they were talking about being top 10. And then last week, they had a Go Pack Go chance in their own stadium. All right. Number 20 is the Texans, moving up a spot. Big win for the Texans, but I need to see more out of them if they're going to move up for me. Number 19 is the Cowboys. So let's put up that most yards per game again. You see the Cowboys at 2. What if we put it to, what if we change that to most points allowed per game? Well, the Cowboys stay right at number 2. Yeah, this offense is playing amazing, but this defense, second most yards allowed per game, second most points allowed per game. Cowboys at 19. Number 18 is the Bears going down 4 spots. Bad loss versus the Lamarless Ravens. Number 17 is the Falcons staying where they are. Penix and Drake London should be back. I'm not too worried about the Falcons. Number 16 is the Chargers. They get that blowout win. They move up 4 spots. Number 15 is the Broncos. They stay right where they are. Number 14 is the 49ers, moving down a spot. Lost to the Texans there, but I still have hope that this 49ers team can be successful for the amount of injuries that they've had this season. And it looks like Brock might be out another week, though. That's tough for the 49ers. Number 13 is the Patriots, moving up 5 spots. Drake May is having an awesome year. This team, this offense is playing great. Let's have the defense step up a little more. And Vrabel can make that happen. He's definitely one of the great defensive coaches in the league. And then this running game needs to keep playing well. Number 12 is the Colts. All right. Probably why you clicked on this video, because you see Colts at number 12 in the thumbnail. So a lot of people have been saying that the Colts are number 1 on their power rankings. Now, a couple weeks ago, like I said, I did something for the Steelers. I pulled up their games of the season. I think it was their first 5 games of the season. And I said, look who they've played. How are they top 10? Let me do that for the Colts here. So they played the Dolphins, who I have at number 29. They won. They played the Broncos, who I have at 15. They won. Good win there. They play the Titans, who are washed up. They won. They play the Rams, who are in my top 10. I'll tell you that right now. They lost. They play the Raiders at number 20, who are at my 24th team. They won. They play the Chargers, who are my 16th team. Good win for the Colts there. They play the Cardinals at number 27. They won. And they play the Titans once again on my washed up list. They won. So, am I saying that they're a bad team? No, obviously not. I have them at 12. They have some good wins over the Broncos and the Chargers. But this is not a top 10 team yet. And why? Because they don't have the quarterback and they don't have the defense. Okay? Let me name some quarterbacks that are going to be my top 10 that you should probably know. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Lamar, Josh Allen. Who else do I want to name? Jaden Daniels. Who else do I want to say? Let's keep it at that right now, okay? Is Daniel Jones better than any of those guys? No. Okay. Defense. Do they have a better defense than the Chiefs? No. Do they have a better defense than the Rams? No. So they're not going to be number 1 if they don't have a better defense than the Chiefs, who have the best quarterback in the league and have one of the best defenses. The Rams have a better defense and they have a better quarterback, and they have the Colts have a great receiver room. The Rams do as well. The Chiefs do as well. They have a great running back. The Colts, you could say have a better running back, but great running back. And then you who else? You have the Bills. The Bills have a way better quarterback. They have a great running back. I would say the Colts have a better receiver room, but the Bills have a better defense, right? So it's things like that. So I'm not saying that the Colts can't be in your top 10. I would see like bottom of the top 10. But to be at number 1 is pretty crazy. I just have to see more out of Daniel Jones. I'm not so reactive. I don't get so focused on records like other people. So 8 games playing the Titans twice does not make me think a team is the best team in the league. Okay, I got to see a little more for you to convince me. I got to see some more out of Daniel Jones for me to believe in him. And I got to see this Colts defense step up a little bit. Now, that being said, they have a great receiver room. They obviously have one of the best running backs in the NFL. And this is definitely a very good team. But I predict them to finish out the season 12-5. Right now, they're 7-1. So I think over the next 9 games, they'll go 5-4. Still good record. They play some great teams. They play the Chiefs. And they play the Seahawks. And they play the 49ers. And they play the Jaguars twice. So going 5-4 over the next 9 games, I think would be very good for the Colts. But yeah, I think they're going to finish the season at 12-5. I think everyone's, craziness and aspirations about the Colts will go down a little bit by that time. But I think they still comfortably make the playoffs, and it's going to be a tight race for that division with the Jaguars, depending on what happens in those games. But anyway, Yes, the Colts are number 12. They're a good team, but they have not made my top 10 as of now. Number 11 is the Jaguars, staying right where they are, right above the Colts, their division rival. If the Colts can beat the Jaguars later in the season, they'll really take control of that division. But right now, I still believe that the Jaguars are a better team. Number 10 is the Seahawks, coming off their bye week as well, like the Jaguars are, and they stay where they are. Number 9 is the Commanders. I expected Jaden Daniels to be back. That's why I had them at 9 last week. But it seems like he's coming back next week, and you saw how much better the offense was when Debo and when McLaurin were in the game. Hopefully McLaurin can stay healthy, but when this team is healthy, they are one of the best teams in the league. Of course, that's why I had them as my prediction to win the Super Bowl before the season. Number 8 is the Buccaneers, going down 3 spots. Terrible call by the refs to not give the Buccaneers that fumble recovery for a touchdown. The refs said that they blew the whistle. I didn't hear one. Let me know if you heard a whistle on that. Terrible call. Absolutely horrible call. But the Buccaneers are 8. Once Bucky Irving comes back, they'll probably go right back into my top 5. But without Bucky, I think I've realized that they're not a top 5 team when they don't have Bucky. Number 7 is the Ravens, going up a spot. Like the Commanders, I expected Lamar to be back last week. That's why I had them at 8. But now it looks like he really is going to be here in week 9. They move up a spot. Huge win, though, over the Bears. Yeah, absolutely huge win for the Bears. I mean, over the Bears. Sorry. Huge win over the Bears. Even without Lamar, they're at number 7 for me right now. Number 6 is the Eagles, going down 4 spots. I want to see what this team can do without these crazy tush push calls, without the fumble getting taken back. Absolutely another horrific call because they say his forward progress stopped, but you didn't blow the whistle, and it must have stopped in a tenth of a second there. Another horrible call given to the Eagles. They get calls every game, so I cannot put them in my top 3 until I see them start winning some games without the refs' help every single game. Number 5 is the Bills, going up a couple spots. Huge win for the Bills. Number 4 is the Packers, also moving up a couple spots. They continue to be consistently winning games, but I want to see some more out of the Packers to move them up even higher. Number 3 is the Lions. They stay right where they are, coming off of their bye week. And then my top 2. Before the Rams went out, I had the Rams as my number 1 team. Before Puka went out, I had the Rams as my number 1 team. The last 2 weeks, I had the Chiefs as my number 1 team. So it was a big decision for me. Puka coming back. Who goes to 1? Do the Rams go back or do the Chiefs stay? And right now, I think the Rams are my Superman in this league. The Rams are still at my number 1 with Puka back. So the Chiefs are at number 2. The Rams move up to my number 1 spot. Now the Chiefs, terrible call. I wouldn't say terrible call. I would say terrible decision process. And I wanted to talk about this earlier in the year, but I did not have the time. But I need to talk about this virtual measurement system. So Zach Ertz didn't get that crucial 4th down conversion, which I think he was there. I'm not going to say terrible call because it was close, but terrible process, I say, because they do this virtual measurement thing, and they make it sound like, and people believe, because I've seen people talking about it, people believe that this virtual measurement system tracks where the ball was when the player was taken down, or when the player, got as far as he did. That's not how this works. If you don't know how it works, the virtual measurement tracks the ball wherever the ref set it. So I've seen people say, oh, last year you complained about the refs where they put it. Now you complain about virtual measurement. You got to stop complaining. It's the same exact thing. It tracks where the referees put the ball. We can see where the referees set the ball. That doesn't help at all. If you can track the ball placement, you should be tracking where the ball went during the play. I know where the ref puts the ball. I can see it with my own eyes. A stupid thing that they use just to try to make it, just for you to believe that they're that they're using this technology and that it's better, and that they want you to believe that, but it's just dumb. And yeah, this virtual measurement thing, it's very stupid. It should track where the ball gets to, not where the ref places it. That makes no sense. And then, yes, like I said, number one, the Rams, Puka back. This team, the defense, the receiver group, Puka, Devontae Adams. They got Kyron Williams, who I think is pretty underrated. And then Matthew Stafford. Um, I've been saying it all year. Mahomes is my MVP. And he is the best quarterback in the league. But one thing that makes Mahomes so great is because he's so clutch. Matthew Stafford is as clutch as Mahomes. Matthew Stafford does not back down in the biggest moments. He stays just as great, even maybe even better than what he normally plays as. So the Rams stay at my number one spot. Once again, if you want to email me with your takes, my email is in the description. Send me an audio message or a video. Only the audio will be played at the video. I'll put you in my next video. I'll talk about what you said, what your takes were, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? Thank you so much for watching my video. And also, I'm coming out with a little Halloween special tomorrow. Make sure you watch that one. Thank you so much for supporting the Sandbar Playbook. My name is Aidan Egizio. If you want to watch another video, you can click here. If you want to subscribe, you can click right here. So thank you so much. Make sure you comment what you thought, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.